Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of our third season. I hope you've enjoyed all the programs we've had up to this point on Irish culture, Irish history, all the plans that the IGSI has had in the past couple years, and what we've got coming up here as we head into our third season. In fact, we're going to be talking to the IGSI co-president, Walt Rothwell, a little later on, and he's going to be talking about what we've got planned for the rest of 2024 and even some things coming up in 2025. So you'll want to stick around for that. And then we'll also have a new segment coming up, which is going to be called Irish History Minute, and kind of interesting. So you want to stick around and watch that as well. So first, let's get into what we've got going on for our Irish Saturday and for our webinar for the month of July, and then we'll talk about some of the other plans we got coming up for the rest of the year. Our Irish Saturday for the month of July will be held on July 13th. So stop on by the Hoffman Research Library, which is located at the Minnesota Genealogy Center in Mendota Heights, Minnesota. Here's an opportunity to get some of your Irish research questions answered. The Minnesota Genealogy Center is located at 1385 Mendota Heights Road, Suite 100. You can also stop by the library during regular business hours. To find out more about the library and the hours of operation, go to the website at mngs.org. And our July monthly webinar will feature Michael Walsh. This is scheduled for July 20th. This is a virtual event only, as will the August and September webinars. There will not be in-person audience at that time. Michael's presentation is called From Tithes to Griffith's Property and Valuation Records in Ireland. Michael will discuss the major land and property valuation records available from 19th century Ireland, Tithe Plotman books, early townland valuations and notebooks from the valuation process, Griffith's valuation sheets and the corresponding maps, revision books, and other sources underpinning the valuations. Again, this is a virtual-only event on July 20th. You could register on the IGSI website at irishgenealogical.org. Well, as I mentioned earlier, we have a new segment that's going to be starting up this month, and it's called Irish History Minute. And Janelle Aslan, who's a new volunteer at the IGSI, is the one who's hosting that and putting that together. And we had a chance to talk to her last month, but I thought I'd throw a little segment in there, at least to kind of talk about the first segment of this episode and what you can expect when you view it coming up here in a few minutes.
Yeah, so the first segment is going to be about the Norman invasion of Ireland. And just one small piece of it, as I said, in a minute you can't cover everything, but to tell a little backstory about kind of my interest in Irish history and where this idea came from. When I was in undergrad, I took a course on early medieval Ireland, and I really enjoyed it. And it was kind of an exchange program with the University of Galway. And in my class, they asked, "Oh, why are you as an American student taking this course on Irish medieval history?" And I said, well, my grandma's maiden name was O'Rourke. And
that usually tells it right there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I just wanted to know a little bit more about the history of Ireland. And my teacher at the time said, "Oh, well, O'Rourke is a very famous name in Irish history." And because we were covering, the period of time of the Norman invasion, and there is an O'Rourke deeply connected to the events that led to the Norman invasion, I've always had a little bit of interest in kind of what all happened that led to the Anglo-Normans coming from England and Normandy into Ireland.
Janelle here with Irish Genealogical Society International and our very first Irish History Minute. One thing experienced genealogists know is that understanding the history of your ancestors requires understanding history in general. So let's go. On May 1st, 1169, the first wave of Norman invaders arrived on Irish shores at the request of the King of Leinster, Dermot MacMurrough. After years of conflict, MacMurrough had been defeated by his Irish enemies and exiled. In his exile, he sought help from Ireland's newish neighbors in England, the Normans. While MacMurrough returned earlier, it was on May 1st, 1169, that the Normans arrived in Ireland to back his claim on his ancestral lands. A year later, the Earl of Pembroke, Richard de Clare, also called Strongbow, arrived on Irish soil as part of this ongoing invasion. An alliance through marriage was formed between Aoife, MacMurrough's daughter, and Strongbow, which made him the heir to MacMurrough's lands when MacMurrough died in 1171. Eventually, Strongbow would take control of Dublin and Waterford, but before he could become too powerful, King Henry II of England put one of his sons in charge of Ireland instead, which led to Ireland becoming an entangled part of the British Empire for centuries. Although the Norman invasion isn't always thought of fondly by the Irish, many names associated with Irish heritage do have their roots in Norman surnames, such as Lynch, Joyce, and Fitzpatrick. If you like what you just learned, don't forget to follow us. This has been your Irish History Minute with IGSI.
And thanks, Janelle, for providing us with our first Irish History Minute, and you'll be able to see those Irish History Minutes each month here on our podcast. And you can also find it on the Instagram account that is available right here, Irish Gen SI, and you can find it and also some other information regarding what the IGSI's got going on for each month as well. So another platform where you can be able to find more information on where we have it, and Janelle will be providing you with that information as well as our Irish History Minute each month here on our podcast. We got a lot of other things going on for the month of not only July, but also for the rest of the year. And I had a chance to talk to Walt Rothwell, who is the co-president of the IGSI, and he talked about some of the activities that we've got planned for the upcoming couple of months and into the fall, including the Irish Festival going on in St. Paul. So if you're going to be in Minnesota, you certainly want to stop by the booth and say hello to us. And here's a part of that interview.
July 20th webinar, which will be virtual with Michael Walsh, accredited genealogist in Ireland, presenting from County Mayo on From Tithes to Griffith's Property and Valuation Records in Ireland. Looking forward to that. Then we have the Minnesota Irish Fair, August 9th through 11th, and IGSI will have our traditional booth in a slightly different location. So we're always have a good time with that. We do have a posting out there for booth volunteers right now on our website. So if anybody's interested, please take a look. And if the volunteer slots are filled, you're still welcome to join us there. Then our August webinar will be the 17th with Paula Stewart Warren, talking about railroad records and railroad history. That will also be virtual. And then for September and October, we'll be having two hybrid events again. September 28th is going to be a panel discussion on brick walls. And October 19th will be a presentation by Jay Fonkert on census records. So that's our itinerary through October. We've got other events scheduled for November, December, and we're working on the 2025 education schedule right now. So we are hoping, we haven't confirmed it yet, but we hope that our December webinar will be a free event as it was last year. And we do have a speaker in mind, and we're finalizing the plans for that. But we expect it'll be a very interesting and attractive program that will last year in our free December event, we had more than 100 registrants. And we hope to have a similar effort this year. We're very excited to have the Instagram rollout, thanks to Janelle. We've been talking about that as a board for a year, and Janelle stepped forward and has the expertise and the talent, and so we are really excited. It's also an excellent partnership with our other social media volunteers, where they can share content and share ideas, and it's wonderful for IGSI.
And thanks to Walt for all that information. In fact, I didn't realize we were going to have some breaking news with that. So, see, it's even worth watching each month, because you never know when we're going to have some breaking news to talk about as well. So, if you do want to volunteer, especially for the Irish Fest in St. Paul, get on the website and also be able to go to the volunteer site section of the website and sign up there. And even if you just want to stop by and say hello, that's certainly good as well. And if you have any questions, stop by the booth and you'll be able to chance maybe get some folks to answer your questions for you. All right, that's it for now, and thanks for joining us for our first episode of the third season, and we hope to see you again on the second and the third and the fourth, and we have a lot more to talk about as we head into the rest of the year as well in our third season of this month at the IGSI. Have yourself a great month. Are you a member of the IGSI? Well, if you're not, here's all you have to do. Head to the website at irishgenealogical.org. There you'll find the join link on the left side of the page, and that's where you can sign up and become a member. You can also register for any of the webinars this year on the website as well, and as a member you can also see past webinars from the previous year. And besides enjoying all the members' benefits, you can always sign in and go over many of the programs and services that the IGSI has to offer, and that would include viewing past webinars, surname interests, the e-newsletter. Would you like to be a volunteer at the IGSI? Here's all you have to do. Get on the website at irishgenealogical.org and scroll down to the volunteer link. There you can see all the options that are available to you. That would include helping out with the Irish Fest in Minnesota, or any of the social and educational programs, or you could even help out with the social media platforms and podcasts, or the SEPS magazine and genealogist newsletter. Just click on the Volunteer Now link and sign up. For more information about the Irish Genealogical Society International, go to the website at irishgenealogical.org. And for questions regarding the podcast, send an email to podcast@irishgenealogical.org.